matter of
I think that one of the key tenets of any democracy is the power of people to join associations to demonstrate against injustice, against corruption, against unfairness, against arbitrary rule, against illegal and illogical activities. Because listen, all of government's structures have been totally desecrated. And I say this without any fear of contradiction. When you fire and hire managing directors, as we are currently witnessing, it is a tactic. And Machiavelli will tell you, when you want people to fear you, when you want to create a certain uncertainty, you shake the space. What do? You sack people. You come out very brazenly to defend all sorts of things that are even indefensible. Even when kids can see that what you're saying is fake or false, you would defend it because you believe strongly that some people will believe you, maybe others wouldn't.
I mean, personally, what do you actually make of that cake? You know, as e-levy is a major conversation.
No, unless you want to think that maybe anybody would find it funny. Not even people within the MPP will find that funny. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's totally unacceptable. It offends all the sensibilities you can think of, especially because we're in very, very dire straits here. There is enormous poverty. There's enormous hardship. I come from a very deprived constituency, and I know the level of poverty that attains. I know the lack of opportunities. Look, Africa is a small continent. We have at least 6 million young people in Africa who have no employment. I don't know what the quota for Ghana is, but we do know what the problems are. You saw the crowds when they were offering just how many jobs, and people literally burst into glass, harming themselves in the process just to get jobs. You've heard government actors speak very carelessly about how NAPCO is over because e-levy has not been passed. I shudder to think what really goes on within government quarters when they are on their own at cabinet and having conversations amongst themselves. They think there's them and there's us. I think this is the sort of division that led to the French Revolution in 1789. And of course, all the subsequent revolutions have led in the same vein, that people dislike injustice. Listen here, the same people that you were visiting and eating in chop bars with when you were campaigning. We saw President Akufo-Addo. We saw him in the fufu chop bars. We saw him eating ampesi, even in some places pounding fufu with people. We listened to the Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia at the time, all those lectures, the verbosity, the fake news, the lies. They spread enormous falsehoods. Nobody questioned them because everybody felt that, oh, you know, the administration had not done well by us and we just wanted change, even for whatever reason. I know people who even said that, look, it didn't matter who was coming in. For as long as somebody was coming that was not from the S1 administration, was okay. I think that the former administration, like I always tell people, we have a very difficult terrain in Africa. Ghana is no exception. God has been so kind to us. He's blessed us with enormous natural resources. But due to mismanagement and the fact that we have not actually managed these resources as we should have, we have lost enormous resources through tax holidays, tax exemptions, you know, all sorts of investments that sometimes are not well thought through. And so that is why we are where we are. But we have an administration that promised to tighten its belt, to reduce waste, to protect the public purse. I think that literally they've basically robbed us of the public purse, whatever is left of it, that is. As for e-levy, it will not be our solution. And look, when people ask the NDC, what is the alternative? What is your option? Every Ghanaian presently, at least majority of Ghanaians, except those who are enjoying from our taxes, believe strongly that we do not need the e-levy, that the e-levy will go to tax probably most of the marginalized. That secondly, it would actually derail our efforts at trying to reduce cash transactions. This is a government that in opposition promised to give everybody a bank account. What did they do first? They crashed most of the small banks that were actually helping these people who now save their monies on these wallets. Someone like me, I don't have a Momo wallet.
Why not?
Because I know that I'll probably end up losing my phone number. Because day in, day out, there are enormous requests for financial assistance. I just set off from my house. I've actually gotten my PA to transfer almost 600 Ghana cedis already, and the day has just begun. So imagine that I had this memo on my phone of all of my investment or my savings. It would be gone within a month. And you can talk to any of us, they will tell you. Times are so hard that whatever little intervention you can make in whatever small way, people are particularly grateful and happy. Look at where fuel prices are. It drives the whole economy. So there's nothing.
A global issue. Fuel prices isn't a global issue.
I don't like to globalize some of these conversations. In the developed places that give us this phrase global, other systems work. The trains work, the buses work, the hospitals work, all the public facilities work and work effectively. Even the lines that they open, online service, dedicated line, they all work for the general good of the public. In our part of the world, we do not have public services that even work and work effectively. Even your national insurance currently is not working effectively. That is one of the most important social interventions because it goes to the health of the nation. Where do you see it working as effectively as it should? Go to Kolibu and other hospitals. I think that for all the promises they made, and to think that today we are now actually coming out to admit that some E-blocks that were abandoned, about 6 of them, have been duly completed, and that even additional amenities have been added to make them, or whatever it is they're trying, I don't know. Because as far as I'm concerned, the E-blocks that are working just as they are. You know, when governments fail, when they fail to perform, when they fail to live up to expectations, they look for all sorts of little things to try and give off a certain impression. So there's a certain bravado, firing people, sacking people, you know, this funny pseudo thing. Why are they not really sacking the real culprits? Listen to all the tales about corruption. And you remember what happened with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I remember how President Akufo-Addo touted the credentials of the Honorable Martin Amidu. Where did that end up? Today we have a new special prosecutor. Has the conversation around him changed? President Akufo-Addo never came into office to fight corruption. It was never even on his cards.
We'll come back to corruption.